Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I urge you to follow me on social media at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in commercial, residential real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, or especially here in the great city of Houston, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. And for the latest and greatest in men's and women's hats and fedoras and designer sunglasses, please visit our newest sponsor at shopelitestyle.com. I welcome everybody. I want to wish everyone a great Thursday. Thank you for tuning in this week, man. We have a great show lined up for you today. If you know any home health care professionals, any nurses, or anyone who is employed in the medical industry, please text, tag, and share this episode with them, because today's episode is going to show everyone how they can invest and be a part of the booming home residential health community and start a business assisting and caring for our moms, dads, grandmoms, and granddads. But as always, my co-host is not only a Texas real estate broker, not only a multi-time author, a serial entrepreneur known the world over as the Texas Real Estate King. And as always, I'd like to welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast my co-host, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good, Rick, man. I always appreciate that world known the world over. That right there, I like that.
Now, you know, if you ever change up your moniker, then I won't be able to say that again.
Nah,
so that's going to be it for life.
That's what it is, man.
For
no
life.
About it.
All right.
No doubt,
How
man.
you been, brother? It's good to see you again.
Things been good, man. I attended it. I was just telling Mike earlier that I'm recovering from an event that I attended on Tuesday. I'm an introvert, for those that don't think so. I really am, right? And so I attended an event. It was called Life of an Entrepreneur Mixer. It was hosted by the Urban CEO. And I had an opportunity to go out there, and I had some of my books with me. I had two-time author, so I had some of my books with me. And really, from the time that I arrived, from 6:30 to 10, I literally was just talking to people about what it is that we offer and the services that are provided, man, and just kind of giving people visions of what they could do if they desire to be in the space of real estate as well. So it was good.
I'm glad we could take a little time so you could explain yourself, because for those who follow you on social media, that did not look like a normal book signing. So I'm glad that you could give us some clarification, because I wasn't able to attend that event, but of course I'm following you online, and I was like, goodness gracious, I need to beam myself over there, man. So it looked like it was a lot of fun.
It was, man. That's why I always tell people, man, if you ever want to, attend some of the right type of events, I try to find myself in those places. So follow me on social media at Texas Real Estate King on Instagram. I post everything there. So at Texas Real Estate King, I can let you know when the event is before it takes place.
Oh, yeah. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to all my friends and family in Raleigh, North Carolina. Had a ball this weekend at the Carr Murray family reunion. It was great. As always, my family did it absolutely huge. The food was top of the line. The conversation, the jokes, the wisecracks were always A1 as usual. It's good being able to see your family members that you don't get to see all the time. You get to see their kids, their loved ones. You can see the evolution of the young people in your family. So as always, man, I want to thank everyone for having me. I want to thank everybody for providing us the latest and greatest and the best time I've ever had at our family reunion, and I look forward to next year.
Man, look, you're going to have a competition on your hands, because you was in a family reunion earlier this year, right?
Hey, man, you got a moms and a pops.
Now,
so
they're going to see the show, and they're going to be like, oh, we got to top the one that he went to, because he said that was the best.
But see, that's the thing, though. If I didn't shout out this family reunion, all my people would have been salty. So I want to make sure I show mad love, because that's always a highlight of my summer social calendar, is being able to go out there and hang out with our people. But
good deal, man.
Let's get back on task, man. Today's episode is something that I've always looked forward to sharing with the audience. And today's guest is going to be able to provide everyone with some invaluable information on how to get involved in a segment of real estate investing that isn't necessarily as popular as other aspects. So today's guest is an award-winning author, real estate investor, mentor, coach, and she is the developer of the 12-step residential assisted living system. So I would like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Ms. Frances Chau.
Good afternoon, Rick and Larry. Thank you for having me today.
Yes,
Man, I thank you so much, Ms. Chau, for carving some time out of your busy schedule.
My pleasure.
The platform that you've built and the business that you run, when I had opportunity to meet you, I was blown away about how accessible you make the residential assisted living business for people to enter into. Because I know a lot of people who may work in residential home care, that may be a nurse, and the process to get involved may seem a bit cumbersome for them. But you've taken all the guesswork out of it. So could you please explain to our audience a little bit about your company and what it is that you provide?
Definitely, Rick. A lot of healthcare providers that want to get to this particular space in assisted living, they don't understand that it takes a lot of money and a lot of skill sets. What I mean by that is part of the 12 steps to success is that you have to have marketing background, sales background, bookkeeping background, knowing your customers and the like. But a lot of people don't understand also how much it costs to go in and convert a home. So if you think you have $20,000 to $50,000 to put into something like this, that is just tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow.
It costs about $200,000 to $300,000 to convert a home that can rake in a good amount of income.
Yeah.
So, here in the state of Texas, we're very, very blessed. We can have up to 16 beds and consider it a residential care home. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Also in Texas, you can have 3 paying residents plus mom plus dad who aren't paying and never have to be licensed.
Wow.
So there are going to be a lot of homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes that are converted into assisted living, and you don't ever have to be licensed, okay? The problem with that is you're going to either break even or be in the negative every single month, and people getting into the business don't know that.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, so until you do a 14, 16-bed facility, you're really not making any money.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it really costs $200,000 to $300,000 to get into this business. So the way I develop my system is so that investors with right now money, okay, the facility is probably going to be $1 million for a 16-bed facility. So an investor coming along should have at least 20% to put down. I don't care if you do conventional financing or SBA. It's between 20 and 30% down, plus another 5 to 10% in contingency. So really the system is built for those investors who have that kind of money to get started right away. It only makes sense because of the numbers, okay? For the healthcare professionals wanting to get into the business, you don't have that caliber, whether it's good credit or whether it's right now money at $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, depending on the location in the country that you're in, to get into this business. So for those folks, I offer up creative real estate investing. I started out creative real estate investing in 2000. My first 6 months, I bought 7 properties using none of my own money, none of my own credit.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I teach people how to pull money out of thin air when you close on a deal when you're purchasing it.
Yeah.
And then you make money again when you sell it.
Right.
Okay, so if you do that and you're making $20,000-$50,000 every time you go do a real estate deal, you can quickly save up the money to do that within a year's time.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my successful students made $150,000 last year, and he had to fire his boss. So that's what I want to
nothing
do.
wrong with
So
that.
even if you step back a little bit and say, I'm going to spend the next 2 to 3 years building my creative real estate investing business so I can put it towards assisted living, then that's what you should do, because there's no way you can have a job working 9 to 5 and trying to save up $500,000 to get into this business.
I
No,
agree.
and let me ask you this question, Miss Frances, because everything that you are illustrating now, you illustrated to me when we had the opportunity to meet. And the thing that I think is so powerful is that you have a system where, let's say you are a home health care professional. You can start investing in real estate with the ultimate goal to own your own facility.
I'll take you a step even further. If you are a healthcare professional and you come on board and you are helping me manage these facilities that we're building for wealthy real estate investors right now, you're going to be ending up overseeing 3 to 5 facilities. You're making more than one source of income in order to save towards your facility. So it doesn't matter if you put 12 hours into doing that or 8 hours into working your regular 9 to 5 job and 4 hours into creative real estate investing. I will help you get there.
So you're providing on-the-job
amazing.
training
Yes.
with the end goal of being your own residential healthcare facility owner.
Yes.
Wow.
But the difference between me and most gurus out there, I don't even call myself a guru. I'm not quite there yet. It's because real estate investors have no business being in healthcare. And healthcare professionals have no idea how to do business or real estate.
Yeah.
So I get to be the gap.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so my system gets to be the gap. So when you come on board to work with me and my company, you're going to get to learn the entire system from ground up.
Wow.
But listen, even if you know how to do it, I recommend you don't. Okay, if you are an investor in my company, you are at the beach. You let my system run the business for you.
I like that. I like
Okay.
that kind
Come
of
on.
system.
So are you
Systems are
are
everything.
you
I
a,
like beach business.
Yeah.
I love beach
Are you
business.
a healthcare professional that after working 20 years, you're still going to be working your business, or would you rather be at the beach and let the system run it for you?
Sounds like a system.
Wow,
you know?
makes
Okay.
sense. Absolutely.
And I want to help investors build 5 or 10 of these over the next 10, 20 years so that we can turn around and help the unfortunate. Because right now, you and I know that Social Security is not going to be around by the time we retire.
That's right.
So who's going to take care of us, right? So the idea is right now we're going to build for private pay residents because they have the money, they can afford to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per bed per person per month, whereas Medicaid only pays $1,200 to $1,800 per month. So the average is only $1,500.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble. The
Right.
trouble is people get into this business taking on clients who are only paying $1,000 or $2,000, if not less,
Right.
And then they don't make any money, and then they wonder why in 5 or 10 years they can't retire. So the idea is to build for the wealthy so we can turn around and build Medicaid facilities and homeless shelters for those in need.
Wow.
Now,
It's amazing.
and
Great
I
concept,
have to ask you to pause because I know at this point of the show, all of our viewers and listeners are like, "Whoa, that was like a lot to take in."
Yes.
But what you've done that I think is invaluable is that you've put all this information in a book.
I've done even better than that. I've also put my book on steroids and put it in a 1-hour presentation.
Wow.
Anybody who is looking into this business will get 2 years worth of learning curve cut out of the time frame where you can get this started. So if you are to visit my website and go to my 1-hour course, after 1 hour, 95% of your questions about the senior care business will be answered.
Wow.
Okay, and many people who are utilizing other, systems out there. I don't think there is a system out there, but if you are, you'll notice that my 1-hour course would cut that time short and save you $20,000 to $50,000 in mistakes that you could avoid while doing this business.
Now, Larry knows a lot about this, but let's go into. You mentioned that a facility could be over $1 million.
Yes.
And I think that may have gone over some people's head because you mentioned it and I want to have you explain a little bit about how lucrative this business can be if you actually follow the 12-step program and get to the point where you have ownership in your own facility.
Excellent question there. Well, there are actually 5 investing options that I speak about in my book. The first one is landlord investing. So just like a regular landlord, you buy a property, right? And you can acquire it any which way you like. You can purchase it conventionally or creatively. Meanwhile, you have the property as collateral, okay? Option 2 investor is the business owner. He doesn't have that option, but guess what? He gets to make most money. So while option 1 investor can go from making $500 or $700 a month in regular rent on a 4,000 to 5,000 square foot home, once we convert it into an assisted living facility, once option 2 investor converts it, that option 1 investor can collect $2,200 in rental income. If you're borrowing money at 80/20, and let's say it costs $2,800 PITI, and you're renting it out at $3,500, well, you're bringing home $700 a month in cash flow, regular rent. But once it's licensed, now you can bring home $5,000 a month, giving you about $2,200 a month in rental cash flow for option 1 investor.
And that's just option 1. And what people will realize after they watch your video and have an opportunity to go through your book is that getting to that stage isn't as difficult as people may imagine it to be.
It's not difficult at all. The problem is that people haven't gone through the phrase of doing the market research. So you can't just put one of these anywhere. It has to be outside a beautiful high-end neighborhood to get high-end clients. Okay.
Only makes sense.
Yep.
Yes. So high-end clients will not come if you're located in a $2,000 or $3,000 area and you're trying to charge $4,000 or $5,000 per bed. It just doesn't work that way.
That's right.
So for option 1 investor, it's very important that you already have the location picked out where the market research is already done. My company provides that service as well. And then for option 2 investor, option 1 investor has to have option 2 investors already lined up.
Right.
Because without option 2 investor, you're just buying a regular property.
Wow.
Exactly. Well, I mean, like I was telling you, when I met you, I knew I just had to have you on our podcast as a guest. So I want to thank you for coming, because I envision, and Larry, let me know if you disagree, but after this podcast airs and everyone has the opportunity to actually take in what you're talking about, I'm anticipating my inbox, Larry's inbox exploding with questions and us having to send out links. So I want to thank you so much for sharing that information. But I want to get back, and we're going to pause for a short break. But when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about your evolution as an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, and who motivated you or inspired you to develop this process. Because I think this can be life-changing for a lot of investors and aspiring investors. So if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that after the break.
Yes, I'd love to share that.
Thank you. Everyone, we're going to pause for a short break from our sponsors, but please stay tuned to the Prime Real Estate Network.
This is Rick Davis, realtor and host of the Prime Real Estate Network. Are you currently leasing or looking to relocate to the Houston area and you find yourself falling in love with the home but aren't quite in a position to purchase? Well, no worries. We offer the Right to Purchase program. We can place you in the home of your dreams at current market rental rates and give you up to 3 years to buy. Did you know that a majority of the homes that are for sale offer better quality than those that are for rent? So why wait? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Let me and my team help you purchase a home that you and your family can fall in love with. Give me a call today at 832-928-3963. And remember to follow the Prime Real Estate Network podcast on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be blessed.
Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network. I'm your host, Rick Davis. Follow me on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, my co-host, Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, is here.
Yes,
Our guest this week is an award-winning author, real estate investor, and mentor. And most importantly, she's developed the 12-step residential assisted living system. And I want to get back to interviewing our guest this week, Ms. Frances Chau. How are you doing, Ms. Chau?
Doing wonderful. Thank you, Rick.
Man, you shared so many interesting tidbits and nuggets about the real estate investing industry in our first segment. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about franchising, because I know that's something that when we initially met that I thought was a game changer. So can you talk about the franchising opportunities that you can provide investors?
Yes, option 5 in real estate investing for assisted living is the franchise phase. And the reason why I came up with this particular idea is because most homes are not retrofitted for assisted living. What that means is if you take a regular 4,000 or 5,000 square foot home, you're looking at something that is not converted to ADA safe for the elderly who are in wheelchairs.
Right.
So what that means is you have to pull out regular bathtubs and put in roll-in showers or walk-in tubs.
Wow. Yep.
And the bathrooms have to be big enough for a wheelchair to spin around in.
Wow.
Okay,
Right.
so everything needs to be done so that it's done properly to ADA and federal laws. Well, the problem is it costs a lot of money to do that.
To those modifications.
Yes. So without having to do those modifications, if we just build it from ground up, and I've already designed a few floor plans that will work for this, we can just go straight to the meat of the business.
Okay. Now, these places that could be built in residential areas as well? Okay. Wow.
Yes. So the residential area that I'm talking about is a beautiful neighborhood. We're going to be building it right outside a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we can turn it commercial. If you build it inside a residential area, you're going to have a problem with the HOA.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So they're going to keep you from doing what you want to do. But in all honesty, if they take you to court, if they take you to federal court, you will win. Because what HOA doesn't understand is that this is not a group home for people that are just getting out of prison or alcoholics or battered women. This is a facility where 85-year-olds live and they don't drive. So if the neighborhood is concerned about 30 to 40-year-olds running around the neighborhood and driving all these vehicles, we don't have that problem. So when we say we have 16 beds, it doesn't look like anybody's home unless we're having a party.
And let's see. That's a fact.
I know, and this is, I want to talk a little bit about your upcoming events, because I know you were gracious enough to invite me to your next event. And I want to make sure all of our audience, you can invite them as well, because I think what you're going to present is going to be powerful and game changing.
Yes, on August 31st, my creative real estate investing business is having an event as well as RAL Systems. So on August 31st at 10 a.m. to noontime, we are going to be talking about how to get into the franchise business for assisted living. And the second segment would be creative real estate investing. So if whether you're in healthcare or not, or whether you're, getting ready to go to college or getting out of college, and you really feel that real estate investing is the way to go, come join me for the second segment as well.
Wow.
During this time frame, I'm going to be talking about what I teach, and that's leveraging money and real estate.
Yeah.
You don't go from owning nothing to owning 7 properties in 6 short months without understanding creative rules and regulations for the state of Texas. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to be discussing that. And one of the easiest techniques to get started in is wholesaling real estate. So it's buying low and selling high. But guess what? It takes no money out of your own pocket. And how much money do you think you'll need in earnest money in order to put a deal on contract?
You can actually do zero in some cases.
Well, you have to have at least $1.
At least
Oh,
a dollar.
yeah.
So I
Oh,
teach
that's
my
a-
students how to do $10 deals because I don't see writing a check for $1.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but we can do $10 deals. Doesn't matter if it's $100,000 or $400,000. You can write a contract for $10.
$10. Wow.
No, and I urge everyone, put that on your social calendar, give yourself a Facebook reminder, program it into your cell phone, because this is going to be the type of event that if you miss it, you're going to be longing for when Miss Frances hosts her next event. So definitely put that on your calendar and make sure you're there if at all possible. But I want to, and I promised all of our listeners before the break that we would get a little bit into your entrepreneurial background. And Was there anyone in your past family member, close family friend that was a entrepreneur that may have motivated you or inspired you to build this platform?
Well, not necessarily to build the platform, but to become an entrepreneur. That would be my dad, because I saw him, fail at a couple of businesses and get right back on the horse again and be successful at some of them. So I think when it comes to the entrepreneurial side of things, it would be my dad. When it came to real estate investing, I would say Carlton Sheets, because back in the day,
Yeah, I remember Carlton.
Yes.
It was the first one that had the infomercial at nighttime.
Yes,
It seemed
yes.
like,
Absolutely, right.
yeah, so it was that infomercial, and I bought his course when I was 18, but when you're 18, you don't understand real estate.
That's right.
You don't have money, you don't have credit, you don't have friends with money or credit. So I went through the course 6 times and I had to put it on the shelf. 10 years later, I had already injured my lower back. In 97, I lifted a 50-pound computer monitor when they were boat anchor size from underneath the shelf incorrectly, and I put myself out for 5 years. So for 5 years, I had no money, no credit. And then I saw his infomercial again, decided to purchase his course, and the rest is history.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, because I remember it like it was yesterday. He was really one of the standouts that used to do those. And I'd never met anybody that ever purchased it, and you kind of purchased it and then put it to action after a while, right?
It's not after a while. When you're injured and you can't hold a full-time job, because I remember I couldn't get to, from the front door of my house to the back door of my house for like 5 whole minutes. That's how much it hurt.
Yeah.
And when you can't hold a full-time job, you have to do something.
You have to, yeah.
And so when I bought his course, it's a 52-hour course. So if you work a full-time job, that's 1 hour a day that you can dedicate.
That's right.
But I didn't have a full-time job. I just went at it 8 hours a day. And at the end of 2 weeks, I was like, is that it?
Yeah.
I think it sounds too easy.
Right.
So I went and I started it, and I was doing crazy deals like pulling $20,000 out of thin air at closing time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
The thing that's most interesting about your backstory, and Larry and I, every week we ask our guests about mentors and inspirations. The thing that you shared about your father and watching him start businesses, fail at those, get back on the horse and ride again, I think that is something that we haven't heard, because I think what that was able to do for you was to teach you perseverance.
It's perseverance, and also to have a plan, because without a plan, you will fail. So I only started thinking about doing this system about 3 years ago. So I spent a year talking about it. Then I spent a year writing the book on it. And then this last year, I spent time promoting the book from Los Angeles to Toronto, Canada.
Wow.
So there is a need out there, but the baby boomers, they turn 85 in 10 years from now. So we actually have some time to do this right. And I want to be ahead of the curve in 5 years.
Oh, no, you are absolutely on the forefront. What you're doing is groundbreaking, and the education that you're providing the masses will be something that they can pass down for generations. Because those who work with you and actually build this business, I think it'll be something that'll be passed down in their family for generations. So I think it's an absolute game changer for real.
I believe that too, Rick, because right now there are people out there charging you $20,000 to $50,000 for information you can get for free on the internet. It upsets me, but there's nothing I can do about it. And you can go to these conventions and come home thinking, wow, it was a lot of good information, but how does that apply to me?
Yeah. How do you apply
So
it?
until you pay $20,000 or $50,000, they won't tell you.
That's how it
You
is.
missed the application. You won't be able to
I know
apply.
Yes.
it, man, but I want to thank you so much, because this is one of our most powerful episodes, in my opinion.
I agree.
I feel like we have actually given people the information and the tools necessary to build a financial game plan that could actually take them to a successful level where they can achieve all their wildest dreams and goals. So
Especially if they reach out.
definitely. So I
if they
thank you
do
so
that
much. Mr. Brooks, is there anything you want to share with the audience this week before we sign off, sir?
I will be at this event that she's hosting. I need
Absolutely.
knowledge is power, and I need as much knowledge as I can get. So I'll be there. This weekend, not much. I'll be in the city avoiding people. I'll be avoiding y'all.
He's joking. He'll be Mr. Larry Brooks in his full splendor as always. On behalf of the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and our guest, Ms. Frances Chau, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this week. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I urge everyone, if you need anything, follow us on social media. Reach out at brooksanddavis.com or reach out to Larry Brooks or myself directly. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next week, and thanks for tuning in to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast.
Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC is marketing a property for sale right now that you can buy. These properties range from land lots for under $20,000 to move-in ready homes $500,000 and more, along with everything in between. To see this week's list of properties for sale you can buy now, go to bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. That's bit.ly/BDREF weekly list. If you plan on selling some real estate and you need it on the weekly list, call 713-665-8329 to speak with someone about it.